Hi there, it's Dan from g.e.k.com. It's December the 4th, which means only one thing. It's Broken Sword 5 release day. I'm very excited for this. I've been waiting for I don't know how long for this next instalment from the Broken Sword series. I've been playing these games since I was a little kid. As soon as it was available, I got it downloaded. And what I wanted to do today was just bring you the first 30 minutes of gameplay, just so you can kind of see exactly what they've done with the game, moving it on from the kind of the 3D attempts on the third and the fourth. From what I've heard, they've brought it right back to the old school kind of 2D sort of point and click classic adventure, exactly how it should be. So I'm just going to dip straight into it. I'm going to try and not talk too much, but there's a few interesting things I will share with you as we go along, and I'll give you my thoughts. But end of the day, you really should be going out and buying this yourself. This is just, I've no doubt this is going to be another classic. One interesting thing, they give you a tutorial now. I've had a quick look at that. It's the only thing I've looked at so far, and all that does, it just kind of gives you the basics point and click games, shows you how to combine items and things. So I'm just going to go straight into it here, and I'm experiencing this for the first time, just like you guys. Been playing Broken Sword since I was a little kid. Bought the original. In fact, I'm based in England, but I bought the original in the States. And it was actually called Circle of Blood. No Broken Sword mentioned. Obviously, then got number 2, Smoking Mirror. Sleeping Dragon came after that. A bit of an attempt on 3D. That was had that on Xbox rather than PC. Moved completely away from the point and click there. And number 4, again, back onto PC. But again, not called Broken Sword in the States. So, kind of a weird choice, but called Secrets of the Ark, a Broken Sword game. Bizarrely. Right, this is exactly, now I have to say, this is completely taken from the first Broken Sword, definitely. A bird flying across the sky. Not in the first one, going straight to the Eiffel Tower. In this case, in the middle of Spain. Now, the interesting thing I've heard is that, and you kind of start to see it, that car in the distance, this is 2D backgrounds, just hand-painted, combined with 3D pre-rendered character models. So the idea there is these 3D characters aren't being kind of rendered as we speak, they're just animated on top, pre-animated on top onto the actual 2D background. So as close to the original style without kind of looking too dated. And one of the big issues with the original one, they actually only drew the character models quite low resolution. So when it came to doing iOS versions recently, they couldn't really do much to make it high definition, which is why, I don't know if you've played it, you get the kind of the close-ups on the character faces in the corners when they're talking.
We will join you shortly.
Seems to work pretty well. Also made it a lot quicker and a lot easier to make than completely drawing something. Now, one thing I'd say here, it looks again pretty similar to the Villa de Vasconcelos out of the first game. I'm not sure it's anything to do with it, but it does seem to be following the same sort of idea.
Senora, it is too late. Go!
Senor, in here. Search them.
Okay, clear villain. That's the one thing about all the Broken Sword games, there always seems to be a really kind of obvious villain style character in this. Right, okay, excellent. Paris, where are we? Who do we see first, George or Nicole? Now,
Paris in the spring.
there it is, there's George.
Passion, romance, l'amour.
Now, George has been voiced in every single game by the same guy, a guy called Rolf Saxon. However, Nicole has only ever been voiced by a different person in each game. So the original one voiced by a woman called Hazel Ellaby, and in this one someone called Emma Tate. And apparently they really wanted to get Hazel Ellaby back, but she was too busy when they were doing the recording. So they've got her in later on in another recording session. Apparently she does the odd voice as we go through. But anyway, here we are.
A senseless murder. Nico and I.
Always
were
quite
about
unlucky.
keep
Always
going and
seem to
doing
come
a
into the Paris when
terrifying
someone's being
adventure
killed. Never mind. Good old George. Right, here we are. We're into the actual gameplay now, past the cutscene. Okay.
The gallery owner was dead. I guess sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve.
Of course.
The cops would be here soon.
George always working for the insurance company. Right, okay, here we are. Classic interface. Yep, classic icons. Wonderful. I like it. Okay, let's have a look. Just happens to be a priest on site. That's wonderful.
Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobart. My company
Two
insured
B's, two
the
T's.
exhibition.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
Do you know what, this scene perfectly illustrates the kind of the look of it. The 3D models
This is the work of the
don't
devil.
look like they're separate from the actual
I
the
am a
backgrounds.
Dominican priest.
That was what a lot of people
I
were worried
know
about, but it
these
just looks
things.
perfect. They look really nicely
Now,
blended in.
Excuse me. I must pray.
1 minute I've been planning dinner with Nico. The next I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest.
Okay. Interesting thing is, each game has started with you being kind of either not talking to Nico or not being with Nico or wondering where Nico is. So this is the first one actually where you've started and you've actually been kind of with her. And that's interesting. First character, well, sub-character from the previous games.
It was Hector Lane.
Yeah, this guy
France's greatest
from
art
number
critic.
2. You meet him in an art gallery. You slip him absinthe into his bottle of wine,
For a
and
moment,
he collapses.
I thought he was dead, but from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted.
Brilliant. The other characters I've heard are coming back. We've got Dwayne and Pearl Henderson. We've also got obviously the goat, standard of the Broken Sword games, and also Lady Piemont out of the first game that you meet in the Hotel Ubu. So let's have a look. Anything I can do to wake him up here? No. Okay,
I was gonna need something to bring him around.
let's come out of here then. So how do I get out? Back arrow. Standard. Right. Let's have a search of the body. Again, really smooth, the actual animation. Really impressed. Okay.
He definitely looked better.
Oh, George.
I didn't want Henri's blood on my hands.
Okay, of which there isn't much, if I'm honest, for a gunshot. Eau de
In Henri's
toilette.
pocket was a tiny bottle.
Hmm.
It was a bottle of Brett. The label claimed it would.
And
sleep
that's
the
how
beast.
we wake the other guy up.
There was a small
Crumpled
piece
note.
of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look. It
Now you
read,
can
2:30 p.m. Be ready.
you can kind of
Innocent
see
enough.
what they're going with,
I realized that
the kind of the
lottery
lessons
was
they've taken from the remakes of Broken Sword 1 and
There
2.
was something fishy going on here, and it wasn't just the canapes.
So
I
I
quickly
mean,
replaced the milk.
it's those two games that are the reason that this has actually been made. The amount of money that they supposedly made from the remakes of the first
I
two
put the glasses back where they were. That's the only evidence the way I found it.
actually financed half of this game. The other half being from Kickstarter. Right, let's go.
A cryptic
Wake
note
the other guy
and a
up.
bottle of
They
overpowering
managed to
alcohol.
raise from Kickstarter and PayPal contributions $823,000.
I needed to
500,000
find
then
Kemp's
came from
records.
actually the original kind of the sales from the iOS and Android versions of the original two. So pretty impressive for essentially a little indie developer from the UK. A lot of fans of the game though. Where are we?
Time to awaken
Type
the
to
beast.
Awaken the Beast. Now, PC version's the first version to get released. The Mac version's been delayed slightly. Apparently that will be due in the next week or two. There's also going to be a Linux version eventually, then iOS and Android, and PlayStation Vita due in the new year. Now this is part 1 of 2. They're originally just going to release it as one entire game, but they promised
Where am I?
Kickstarter backers that they were going to get it
You
out this
fainted.
year, and they knew that they wouldn't be able to get the entire game out. So the idea is they've released part 1 now, part 2 you'll get as a free update in January.
Welcome back to the land
Depending
of
on
the living.
obviously whether that gets delayed.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand
But also
there.
part of the
Get me
point
something to
behind that
eat.
was
I've had a terrible shock,
they
you
would have
know.
easily been able to get it out if the Kickstarter wasn't so successful. They actually
Excuse me, Mr. Lane.
they kind of overachieved by quite some way, so kept adding
My
all these
nerves
extra
demand
characters and
food.
extra environments and scenes. So oh, pizza box, that'll be food. So they had no choice but to kind of delay it a little bit.
What was in it?
Let's find. Oh, pizza
Well, no surprise there. Pizza.
and a gun
The
previously.
guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left.
Right. Again, really impressed with the animation. It just really has the feel of a Broken Sword game, but looks very, very like
I
current.
found a slice of pizza.
I asked for food, boy,
Oh.
not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that.
Oh,
I'll
okay,
leave it here.
wonderful. Kind of worried then. Thought I was going to have to find more food.
Given the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable.
Now,
Now, what's been going on?
the other thing that I've heard as well is
Is he
Dead? Afraid so.
in the original game, you could die, and you had to reset back to the original save point. However, number 3 and the remake of number 1, they changed that. So if you died, you essentially just went straight back to the beginning of that
Excuse
kind
me.
of death. So you've got to
Well, I know you.
redo it, have another go.
Yes, our paths have
Um,
crossed in the Glees Gallery.
That's the way they've done it in this. So you've got no worries about saving every 5 minutes.
Afraid not.
So it's not too bad. In fact, there you go, Absinthe
I'm sorry,
reference.
but I'm having trouble remembering your name.
I'm George Stobart. I insured the exhibition.
I hope you have deep pockets then, my boy.
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Right. And
Did
quite
you know the
interesting, that guy
gallery
looks a
owner?
bit like Lobino, but not heard whether he's back,
Worked
but we'll
together
see.
on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition.
I'm not sure
under
of whether
my
it's the same,
curatorial wing.
the actual
Now
same
the poor
character,
fellow's got a
voice actor
gob
for this
soft
guy.
skill.
Curious.
Do you know anything about the stolen painting?
And if I'm quite honest,
Of
until
course, dear boy.
recently, I didn't even
Lamont,
realise that it was a
little
different
known,
Nico in each
turned
game.
up at the last minute.
The first 2, I
What
was
about the killer?
pretty young, so
Get a
it's
look
not
at it?
something I'd have noticed, but
A delinquent
I'm
of
kind of
tin
surprised I'd
hat.
not noticed some of the
Beyond
more
that, I
recent
don't
ones.
really recall.
Only ever been played by someone who actually speaks French
Those
once,
of us with a
so
higher aesthetic are more sensitive
Interesting.
to violence.
So you curated the exhibition? What's it about?
A brilliant retrospective. A dialectical window on European art's ongoing discourse
Our
with the
Kickstarter backers,
unresolved psychoses of the
I've been able to play
nation-state.
this for a couple of weeks now.
Wow.
This was
You took the words right out of my mouth.
they released a beta version for them,
Who
um,
painted the stolen
and the feedback so far has been brilliant. I've
Therein
seen a few
lies
reviews from
We
just
only know
standard
his
game
pseudonym,
sites,
El
um,
Cert.
and
He
it's
was a
getting
Catalan,
good to
among
kind of
us.
middling
His
reviews.
works are symbolic,
I think
religious.
everyone acknowledges if you're fans of the original,
can
you
you
will
tell me
love
about the
this. And
stolen
to be honest, we're 10-15 minutes in, and
La
I completely see
Maledictio,
that.
a
It's
challenging
more,
piece. If you
I
like
think,
a
as a game,
wide
if this
cast
was
of
something
obscure
fresh and new,
saints and
it
fringe
might be a little
Christian
bit stale, but it
symbolism.
really does feel like a
Not
Broken
especially
Sword game.
valuable, though. The thief won't get much for it on the black market.
How about some more of this?
I don't think so. As a sal volatile, it was acceptable. As a cologne, it would be barbaric.
Right, yeah, let's
No
have
one
that
had
one
noticed
else.
the pizza box fall onto the floor.
How is
I
that
decided to
significant?
leave it
Excellent. That's a good point, George. Right, let's take a look properly into playing this. CCTV facing
What? The
on
security
one
camera
wall.
had captured the robbery. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private.
I'm the insurance man. You should let me
The
in.
door was locked with a
Oh,
keypad.
for goodness
If I wanted to
sake.
get in there and look at the CCTV footage, then I'd need to find the number. Lane worked with Henri, so he was likely to know the code.
Let's hope so. Come talk to him in a second.
This was where the stolen painting had hung. Why that painting? And why kill for it?
Huh?
The stolen painting had an alarm,
That
which should have sounded
didn't go
when
off.
Jane moved. I needed to find out why it hadn't. So,
Ow.
the alarm wasn't broken. I suspected foul play.
Oh dear.
It was the speaker cone for the alarm. It hadn't sounded when the painting was stolen. Looked fine to me. That wasn't the reason the alarm didn't go off. I pressed the vibration detector pad. Nothing happened. I pressed the vibration.
Okay.
Pressed the vibration detector.
Just checking there's nothing different. Let's see. Let's open the door. There we are. We're into standard broken sword puzzles. Right. Cut
So
wire.
that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were
Interesting.
doing. This was an inside job.
Ah, yes, and of course that's one of the things that's been brought through from the mobile versions. Achievements. So we have the cut wire. First achievement of the game. Wonderful. Actually, no, tell a lie. I got an achievement for completing the tutorial. So if you're a proper achievement hunter, make sure you do the tutorial first.
The label said it was painted in 1932.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here. If it's going to tell us all the details.
90,000 for this one.
No, something to do with the numbers. That might be to do with the code. Let's find out. I bet he had a favourite painting or something.
I need to ask you a few more questions.
If you insist. I'm still in shock, you know.
Anything else you can tell me about Henri?
Not right now.
One quite interesting thing about the Kickstarter
Anything else you
is
can tell me about
that
the robbery?
Revolution really
As I said,
listened to the
I don't
the
recall
fans in
much.
terms of kind of feedback on the game. One of the really early things from kind of early character models they released was that George's jaw did not look right in the
Tell me more
original
about the exhibition.
version, so they made
The
him
Catalan
widen his
artists
jaw
speak for
slightly.
themselves, don't you think?
So actually changed the look of his character in the game.
No, they don't.
They also kind of in the original mock-up, there was some quite nice shadow effects that was then missing from the first version. So they actually, again, fan feedback made Revolution actually
So
add that in.
you help run this place? Maybe
So
you can
not
get
just
me
took the money,
code to
but
that
also took
door.
the feedback, which was pretty
The
good of him.
code to the office?
I just thought you might have the number.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
But I'm the insurance
I
company.
figured I wasn't
Come on.
going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice.
Okay, what's that mean? Let's be
Mr.
me.
Lane, you're really going to have to give me the code to that door.
And why, pray, should I do that?
Because the way the cops will see it, you're the prime suspect. We both know you're innocent, Mr. Lane, but the cops, well, they may not see things so simply. I might be able to get them off your case, but in exchange, I'd like the code for the office door.
But that's preposterous. The police would have neither evidence nor motive.
Funny you should mention that. Someone sabotaged the alarm on the stolen painting.
Interesting.
A wire was cut.
What? Who could have got into the alarm
Police
system?
really are taking a long time.
Exactly. It was an inside job, Mr. Lane.
You're
And
not
Nico.
suggesting that I-
Nico's gone running after
I'm
that
afraid
guy, and I've
that's the
still
way
not
the cops
seen
are gonna see it.
any sign of her.
That's preposterous. How could I possibly have cut the wire?
Mr. Lane, this robbery is not going to reflect well on you.
As I said, I shall take my chances. You're not getting that door code.
This is an inside job for sure, Mr. Lane. The police are going to be very interested in your recent movements.
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
You're not going to scare me into giving you that door code, you know.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty.
Good old Broken Sword humour.
Don't suppose you've changed your mind about giving me that door code?
Certainly not. Give me one good reason why I should.
I might just do that, Mr. Lane.
Okay, go ahead. Give me some options. What haven't I done?
Keep that noxious potion away from me.
Give me the code. Fine.
So, you'd been out of town and hit the sack early last night?
That's right. I've not been near the gallery for days.
I hate to say this, Mr. Lane, but you're going to be the #1 suspect for this murder.
So you keep saying, Mr. Stobart.
Well, you got to admit, the cut wire doesn't look good for you.
Yeah,
As
we're
I
still getting
said,
different
this is a
options when we click
preposterous
it. When we
allegation.
click the each option.
Mr.
So
Lane,
they've put in
this
quite a
robbery
few
is not gonna
alternative
reflect well on you.
kind of
As
dialogue.
I said, I shall take my chances. You're not getting that
Okay,
door code.
that's definitely exhausted there. Oh, he dropped something. Nail clippers. What was that all about?
The nail clippers were monogrammed with the letters H. They
Okay.
must have fallen out of his pocket.
They did, I saw it. Right. Oh, nail clippers. That would be a good way of cutting some wires, would it not?
Are these your nail clippers, Mr. Lane?
Yes, they have my initials monogrammed on them.
Huh. The perfect implement
Interesting.
for cutting the alarm on a stolen painting.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotage, Mr. Lane. It was an inside job.
Are you accusing me? How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code. How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Yeah.
Certainly not.
Oh, for
Give me a
goodness
single
sake.
reason why I should.
I just did.
Guilty by way of
Yes.
nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning.
That's not what you said.
How could I have cut that wire?
So you'd been out of town and hit the sack early last night?
That's right. I've not been near the gallery for days.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
No.
Sheer fantasy.
I hate to say this, Mr. Lane.
So,
Right.
Mr. Lane,
Definitely nothing else I can do there. So
ugh,
let's give Father Simeon a chat.
Father?
Yes, my son.
Oh, he's got a lot to talk about.
What did you mean when you said that a great evil had taken place?
Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
What?
Peter 5:8. The devil is all around, Mr. Stobart.
Did Henri say anything before he died?
He said, "Stop the car, I want to get in." What does that mean? You may never know.
What brought you to the exhibition, Father?
Painting.
Which one?
A maledictio, of course.
The painting that
Alright.
was stolen.
I had to confront the evil.
An evil
I think
painting.
there's something strange going on here.
Interesting.
Yes, Mr. Stobart. At last you see the truth.
No, Father. I mean that the robbery looks like an inside job.
The devil's work is always an inside job.
A wire in the painting's alarm was deliberately cut.
Cut by the devil himself, perhaps.
This man is
As far
obsessed
as
with
I
the
know,
devil.
Sightings of guys with horns and tails have been a little down recently.
You mock me, Mr. Stobart. But as you will discover, the devil likes to have the last laugh.
Okay.
Do you know the code to get into the office?
I doubt it, but
You would always pray and ask for divine guidance.
With respect, Father, I'm looking for a slightly quicker solution. What do you know about the man who painted La Malediccio?
El Serp. He was a man playing with fire. The fire of eternal damnation.
Oh dear.
Tell me about the stolen painting.
Whoever gets close to it will burn in hell.
Hey, Father.
This
how about
sounds
sport?
like a sinister painting, but I'm also
I think
guessing it's quite significant.
Do you
And
recognize
nail
these?
clippers.
nail clippers. I'm not
Nope.
sure what you're...
Neither am I. Shot in the dark. Okay, lots more. Oh, a painting I can do something with. Cogs.
The alarm on that painting hadn't been sabotaged.
Interesting.
So, what made the stolen one so special? The bust was balanced precariously on the pedestal.
Oh, push it over,
Won't
George.
knock it off.
No, go on. Right. Okay.
I still needed to figure out the code to that keypad.
Let's take one more look at this dude.
I didn't need to look at the note a second time. It wasn't tough to remember.
Okay. Definitely nothing else that he has.
Poor guy. I didn't want Henri's blood on my hands.
Oh.
Here today, gone tomorrow. I decided to let Henri's toupee rest in peace.
Okay. I'm guessing those interactions are completely insignificant. And, right. Let's read the label of the painting.
The stolen painting was called La Malediccio, painted by someone called El Serp in 1937, and worth was 40 grand.
Just.
The stolen painting was worth less than the others. So
Interesting.
why did the thief target it?
Because it is evil.
Another painting with a working alarm.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay.
I still needed to.
I would guess it's 1937, but maybe not. Right.
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
I doubt it very much.
Certainly.
Guilty by
Is there anything
I've
else
been
that I
away from
haven't
Paris
spoken
for
to her
several-
about? Right. No, 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 no.
Mr. Lane, this.
As I said,
Right. Let's take a look. See if coming outside makes any difference.
Not the kind of place for an opportunist thief.
Oh, office window. Interesting.
The room looked like some sort of office for the gallery. I could just see the glow of the CCTV monitor in the corner.
Okay, and I can't open that and get in. Never mind. Le Mitro. You know what, the one thing that I've always been disappointed with Broken Sword, when I first played them,
Always been a sucker for
I thought that it was all real, all the locations were real, and I could go and visit them one day. And one day I went to Paris, and I went to go and try and find the Montfaucon, thinking that would be a really cool place to see, and it didn't exist. Well, it existed, but not in that way. It was demolished long ago. No
There's
toilet
just been a
block for me to
robbery.
go and have a look at. No scroll to look through and see a burning man in the
Sounds
window.
right.
Very disappointed.
All
Very
property is
disappointed.
death, monsieur. And all art is property, therefore all art is death. Do you not agree?
That's quite deep.
Well, when you put it like that, it's hard not to. Did you see anybody run out of the gallery earlier?
There was a beautiful woman with a camera.
Oh, that will be Nico.
Kissing somebody.
That must have been Nico.
Yeah.
You know.
Can
How
you tell me
rude.
anything about the man she was chasing?
I assume, monsieur, that like all of us, he is inherently unknowable.
No wonder this guy's cafe was empty. The gallery owner, Henri, was shot dead trying to stop the robbery.
Sacre bleu!
The moment you lose the illusion of being heard.
That's not a very good reaction to someone
Did you know
being
him
shot
well?
dead.
Can we ever truly know another human being, monsieur? He spent little
Straight
time
answer
at
would
the
be
cafe,
nice.
unlike his friend, Monsieur Lane.
What do you know about Le Lizard Bleu?
Now,
Bourgeois, vacuous, and overpriced.
I'm
Just
guessing
like its curator Lane.
he knows something about where he was last night.
Talking art to his latest floozy.
Floozy, hey.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane?
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
musical cue.
He drinks here sometimes.
Last night?
He slid away last night without paying.
Ooh.
Last night?
Really?
What sort of time?
After midnight for sure. If you see him, give him this bill. And tell him to pay up next time.
Right. And there we have it.
The check was from last night. But Lane told me he was not. This could be the
Oh.
leverage I needed to get the office door code from Lane. Thank you
Right.
for your consistent.
Let's head back. We're nearing the half-hour point here, so first puzzle's taking me at least a good half hour. I think I made good progress, but let's just finish this off and then I'll leave you guys be. So, what can we do here? Here's your bill, sir.
Take a look at this.
What of it?
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
So,
Last
It's dated
night.
yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You
Dun,
said
dun,
you were out of
dun.
town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night without paying the bill. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a lie to me. Tell you what, you give me the code to the door, and the police need never know. A motive and proof of involvement. Not looking good, Mr. Lane.
you are a blackmailer, Stobart.
Of course.
Doing my job.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397. But I admit to none of these spurious accusations.
I had the code. The police would be here any moment, so I had to work fast.
Excellent. Oh, well, they're already there.
What was that number again? 6-4.
Everyone, hold it right there.
That sounds like Inspector Moo. It is. Wonderful.
I am Inspector Navet of
Meh.
the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Move, I want a total
Moo.
lockdown. Nobody in or out. Apart from me, of course.
Right. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to pause it. Very impressed so far. Very, very impressed. Oh, Lee goes back. Right. You're going to have to play it yourselves if you want to see what happens from here. I don't want to spoil too much of it. It's on Steam. It's on GOG. It's less than £20, less than $20, less than €20. Whatever currency you want to spend. It's well worth some of your money. I'm going to carry on playing this now. If you enjoyed watching this, let me know, and I might even play some more of it. But either way, I'm playing it now without you. So thanks for watching. Again, go and buy it.
G.E.E.K 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 G.E.E.K